welcome to Allergy Dragon. My name is Martha Morgan. I'm a specialty diet and allergy chef. Okay, so continuing into our sweet treats, we're not going to be sampling right now. We're going to be making a sweet summer treat. And I have special guest again, Amy.
My name is Amy Wilson. I go by the Nutrition Coach Pharmacist, and I am so excited to be doing a kind of healthy treat that you can take to parties or just have at home.
Okay, so today what are we doing? We're going to be chocolate dipping fruit. So I can't eat it, obviously, because it's chocolate and I'm allergic to it. But Amy once again, she's proven that she's the dedicated.
Gotta take one for the team. More than willing.
So we have gotten Joy Life chips, and these are the real chocolate morsels. These are dark chocolate. You can use any of the morsels you want to. I have white chips because that's what we actually use at home because, you know, chocolate allergy here. So we're gonna go ahead and this is 8 to 10 ounces of chocolate, depending on what kind of chocolate brand that you can have. If you can have dairy, great, but this is a top 8 allergen-free company, well actually top 9, and it does not have any dairy, so you can eat it. Okay, and then we're going to be melting this chocolate with some palm shortening. Now I'm using palm shortening. You can use coconut shortening or a fat basically that solidifies in room temperature is basically what you're going to be adding to this. And this just helps it stay a little bit tempered a little bit longer, and then actually it helps it re-solidify, but also keeps it from having that candy crunch. When you melt chocolate down, you evaporate some of the liquid and the fats. And so when they recongeal, it changes the texture of it. So this is to keep it kind of smooth and just tasting good. Yeah. So we've made a bain-marie, which is basically like a metal bowl with some hot water underneath it. Yes, this is hot, but I've been cooking for 30 years, so please make sure you're using something to hold on to. That's my disclaimer. Be careful, watch your children, including yourself, okay? I got oranges here, and I have strawberries, which strawberries happens to be an allergen in our family for my youngest kiddo. But you wanna make sure your fruit is dry and really, really cold before you actually dip it. So what kind of fruits do you like to dip?
Bananas. I absolutely love doing chocolate covered bananas and putting them in the freezer. And they are a great refreshing treat for every day.
Yeah. And do you have to put any lemon juice or anything into the bananas beforehand to keep them from browning?
Honestly, I don't care if they're brown. You can't see them anyway.
Exactly.
I'm covering them with chocolate. Who cares?
Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and put like 1 teaspoon. I do reserve a 2nd teaspoon just in case, because sometimes if it's too humid or not humid enough, it affects the melt of your chocolate. So I'm gonna start with 1 teaspoon. You can always add more, but I want that to melt beforehand. And you want this to be like over medium heat. You don't want a roaring boil underneath your pan, or if you have a double boiler, that way you can kind of control your melt. I like kiwis, and so when kiwis usually are very moist, but you just pat them dry, you know, so just not getting too ripe of an actual kiwi as well. And yes, you can eat the skin too. You just wash the skin off, but I usually keep the skin on because it actually adds fiber. And I think it looks really cool because I'll half dip it so you can kind of see it. And then dried fruits, I like doing dried fruits like apricots and things like that. But again, it's a hard thing to find because of the fact that a lot of those are processed around allergens, so it just depends.
And then a lot of your dried fruit also, like for me, I can't do sulfites, so a lot of your dried fruit has sulfites. And then also know that dried fruit is not always healthy, so you're getting a lot of added sugar when you're doing dried fruit, where sometimes you're better, if you're looking for a healthier treat, I would go with fresh fruit.
I do agree with that. And then, you know, if you want to get a little bit less out, you can do pretzels or things like that. You know, it can, once you start dipping fruit, you go, hey, what else can I dip? Now we're going to use a fork to dip once I get this, you know, melted down. It really doesn't take long. It's actually already starting to melt. Then we will place it on our parchment paper, and then you can place it in the refrigerator if you want to really hurry it up, but usually only takes a couple minutes if, you know, it's not too hot in your kitchen and that kind of thing. It depends, you know, we're doing this kind of in, right now here it's about 60 degrees. So another way to actually dip your fruits is you can put it on a skewer and make like a kebab if you don't want to use a fork. But you can do half dips where you're not using a fork, you're using, you know, just your fingers. Just be careful, you don't want to burn yourself.
And these are just a great thing. So I have a big question I always get from my clients is, I'm going somewhere, I don't know if I can eat anything, I really want to bring something that doesn't look like that I'm eating healthy. or that I'm on a program, what can I do? And this is a great thing that you can take to cookouts, to get-togethers, that everybody's going to enjoy, and that's something that you can feel good about eating too.
And this is actually already melted. Like, can you believe that?
That was quick.
And we're fast talkers.
That is record time.
So what I do is I turn this down low, and I'm gonna take this off of the heat. We can always put it back on the heat if it starts to solidify more. So I'm just gonna keep mixing it a little bit, and you can see it's very smooth. Okay. And then she's going to put that in the...
We're gonna do a whole dip first.
Okay, you're gonna do a whole dip?
It's gonna be a whole dip.
Okay.
So if we're into chocolate, let's just do chocolate.
Yeah, and you don't have to pierce the orange. You can actually take the fork and go up underneath it, and then shaky, shaky if you want to. Shaky, shaky.
Well, and then I'm going to use my fingers because that's just easier.
Yeah. That's why we have gloves on. Plus, not to mention, you know, so it doesn't sear your flesh.
And you can see it's actually drying already. So we gotta do a little dip. Oops. Do a little half on this one.
Yeah, because these are already cold, and that's the biggest thing. And then you just have to watch and make sure. And you want to scrape your bowl down and just kind of keep your chocolate moving a little bit in between. So this is a great date night, you know, kind of thing. Make the husband help you out, girlfriends help you out, or the kids. It's a great way to try fruits.
We lost one in the chocolate. It took one for the tea. That's okay.
It's okay. They don't have to be the prettiest things. Then you can go and do sprinkles if you want to get fancy, you know, but you know, just depends on what you want to do. If you want some extra protein and you can have nuts, this is a great time to add like some shredded nuts on top, or coconut. Almonds would be really good, silvered almonds.
Oh, or dust, like the goji berry dust or any of those.
Oh
those
yeah,
look pretty.
Pomegranate. I love the pomegranate.
Pomegranate dust. Yeah, that'd be really good.
We did that with our bonbon class. It gets that like, what do they call it?
And you see, I'm not being very neat on this.
They don't have to be. They're for us. People don't care. They're just gonna be like, you
know,
made it.
when there's chocolate, there's like, who cares?
Yeah. Plus, once they actually kind of start to cool and you put them on a plate, people just think they're like the prettiest thing in the world.
The nice thing about doing gloves, though, you don't want to lick your fingers. That's a positive part.
It is. I'm gonna put this back on here. It's starting to kind of congeal to the bottom. This is why I say it's a good date night for, you know, or the kids. Mom can melt the chocolate. Dad can melt the chocolate. Marshmallows are good.
Oh yeah, marshmallows are always good.
Yeah, they are. Just you do have to put them in the refrigerator beforehand. If not, you end up with an issue. They melt really quick. And so then that was just on for like not even 30 seconds, just to get it kind of a little bit more pliable. And I'm trying to tilt it so that we have more chocolate here for her. Star fruits are fun to dip too.
Ooh, star fruits are cool. Those are like, especially if you're trying to get kids to eat other fruit besides just your normals. Apples are really good too.
Oh yeah.
Even though apples were brown, then you can always, you know, do the lemon juice with the apples. But star fruit, anything that's kind of just different, why not try it? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But most things work with chocolate.
And most of the time, you don't have to worry about it getting too brown, because normally they're 8 before they get brown.
That's true.
I mean, they really do, because the kids are like, oh, okay, I'll eat the whole apple with the chocolate on it. That's when you can do like the half dip. Now with chocolate, you might think with my chocolate allergy, why in the world would I be able to do this, right? And it's because I'm not the one actually handling the chocolate too awful much. I have a spoon. And I'm not really kind of smelling it a lot, but also it's not powdered form. So powdered form is a little bit more of an issue for me. So I would have more of an issue if I'm working with chocolate powder, which I usually am very careful with as well if I do work with it at all. I try not to, so.
We're almost done.
We are almost done. Well, actually, Amy's almost done. I've really got the easier job of the two.
That's okay, this is the fun job.
Yeah.
They're kind of pretty.
Once we put them on another plate, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I did that.
We use it all.
We used it all. We used the chocolate. Okay, look, you did this.
Hey, they're so pretty.
They are pretty. Now the hard part, you have to eat one.
Well, I'm gonna try an orange one because I always do the chocolate strawberries. I make those a lot of times. I just never really have done oranges, so thank you for that idea.
Yeah.
So let's see how this is. These are really nice oranges too. So nice chocolate. I did that.
Yeah, she did that. And we didn't let it sit up completely. You want to let this sit for 15-20 minutes to really kind of set up.
You know, you always know that orange and chocolate go well together. This is really good. The big thing I noticed is that a lot of times when you get chocolate sweet or chocolate chips, if they're vegan, they don't taste very good, or they have a very aftertaste.
Or a chalky texture.
Or very chalky texture. This melted nice. It tastes really good. So this is a definite good one. Enjoy Life chips is thumbs up. Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up, yes. White chocolate chips do really great. They melt just as well, and just do 1 to 2 teaspoons of palm shortening or shortening that you can use.
And how pretty to have both.
Makes a really pretty design, like if you have both of those going, and then somebody can be like drizzling it on top.
Oh, so cute.
Or black and white oranges. You could do one side, one dark, and the other one white.
So many good ideas.
Yeah. Recipe will obviously be down in a link down the description. Check out Amy's channel. We have different videos on there as well for more sweet treats. And make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and do all that good stuff. Comment down below if you would make this and how you would make it your own.
And let us know if there's something else you want to try, because I am game for anything.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye. I need to put it over here with the light, or what? I need you to do picture.